and good morning. It's me, NonenNox, and I bring a Mindustry video. Last time we claimed Sector 265 for ourselves. And let's get these over here. And I wanted to make a upgrade system or logic. As you can see, we have a quasar hovering over the reconstructor. And once that's done, it should put that in there and then grab a new one. Which I did get it to work. There it goes. So, I will go over this in the next section so that you guys can copy and paste it. I may put a place to just copy from the video description. Maybe. When I get around to that. But other than that, I will show and explain all of this. For now, however, we're going to just make sure all these units are on the ground, so that way they are allowed for calculations in case this place gets attacked, I think. So, we're going to attempt an eradication base. So, and we're also going to use this new blueprint. So this will be a very, very interesting one. So, let's go ahead and take the blueprint that we made. I guess I probably should update it. Oh well, I'll do that next. Next, what we can take. Okay, let's see, what do we got? We have a lot of specters here. That's kind of, that's a heavy spot. Some salvos. Do we have any units to worry about? Meltdowns. Really empty here, but there's nothing here anyways. Okay, 1 core for an eradication difficulty? Huh. Interesting. Well, we got a foreshadow. And that looks simple enough. Getting there, once we get past this spot, would actually be able to just clean this out. Let's see. Can just fly there too. The only biggest problem right now would be the fact that it is crowded, so might have to go this way and just attack from this angle instead. But I do know that we should get a silicon crucible. Okay. So in terms of power, I could just grab stuff here. I feel like if they're gonna show up, they're gonna show up this direction anyways. So maybe I will go ahead and at least block this spot right here. This should force every one of them to show up on the right side. We got 2 minutes and 10 seconds to deal with what we got. In terms of power, it's being strange, probably because I've added this extra stuff. Not that specifically. Okay. So if we want power and to borrow those spots, we'll just go ahead and throw it right here. That should be enough to start this. In that case, let's go ahead and turn that off for now. Gonna need to get that water, and I will need to get some regular flares real quick. Alright, power's good. With that, we got some regular flares that can get us our remote overdrive. Power all this up. And go ahead and switch this back. Alright, first things first is to get the bait for any air units. Now let's go ahead and just throw that there. Battery. And if we want to destruct horizons, I think that should be good. That should work. And that should be enough. Oh, nope, that's not enough. Okay. And we need to get resources now. So, map does not say if we're going to survive. That's fine. But let's get our resources. Alright, 13 seconds. Buying units. Okay, that's fine. In terms of resources, they're gonna have to wait. Go ahead and turn that. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. Alright. With that... Why you look so slow? There we go. Just a little bit more polys, then we can get the rest of what we need. Resources are coming in too. Alright, that's done. Let's go ahead and remove all this. Probably the quickest I got into tier 4, I think. Not that one. Alright, so for the unit upgrader that we made, or I made, I guess, we're gonna go ahead and put this right here. It requires us to connect to this. And I should grab one. Now for the logic, we got a rand weight at the top, so that way we only grab one unit. Or try to, and also to not conflict with multiple if I were to have more. We have a sensor to check the controller. I have one here to hopefully refresh the logic and to let the logic know that if there's no unit, it should continue on. So when it first runs, it should have no unit, so there should be no controller. At least the controller wouldn't be this processor. So it'll skip this jump and try to bind to a unit, which in our chosen unit is going to be Quasar. Now it'll go ahead and censor again. It'll check the controlled value in the unit, at unit, and the controller in the unit. Going to check if it is controlled. If it is currently being controlled, then it's going to skip it if it's being controlled. So it'll hit the end and go back up. And because the controller is still not this processor, it should go ahead and bind to another unit. It'll keep going until it finds a unit that is not being controlled. Once the controlled is false or is not being controlled, it'll finally bypass the end and check the next section. We got sensors. Sensors for the location of the reconstructor, the X location and Y location. Then it'll enable boost on the unit that it is bound to. It'll move it to the location, and it'll keep trying to payload enter that constructor. And then it refreshes the sensor, so that way if it does lose control, it should refresh. Now I had to add a wait here because it still kept grabbing all the quasars. But after that, it should notice that if it's still being controlled, it'll just go back up here. If it's not being controlled, since it lost a unit, it should finally go back to the top. So, random wait, checks the controller, or whatnot, tries to bind, then if it gets a free one, does the rest. I will probably do a more in-depth, well, I might. I don't know, my explanation it was probably a little rusty, because this was pretty much just made recently, just the moment I was making this video. So hopefully that was understandable. I will go ahead and talk about this one more time near the end, I think. But if it works, which it should because I just made this before starting this, we should have... There he is! Right, while that's doing that, let's go ahead and get the rest of the stuff. Cryo. Go ahead and get the water, should be fun right here. And to get us our titanium. This should be good. And then we need to speed this up. So let's go ahead and get one up here. Power is fluctuating a lot. Probably because I have multiple of these. Probably should get another power then, if that's the case. And that needs to be closer. Okay, that should do it. Go ahead and set this to boost, so that way it can get over here quicker. Yep, power is good. And we got a regular wave 4. That is really nice. So much better. Now that I don't have to do that manually. Now the problem is this. Their range is going to be really picky. I'm going to need more units to heal. Slowly walk you guys forward. 10 waves. Really? Already? Health does not look good. Need more. Or I could try to do this. Still... well, it doesn't seem like it's working. I'm just gonna have to... Lost one. Still fine. Come on. Oof. Okay, lost just one. That's fine. Just gotta heal. Come on. Ooh. Youch. But that did get rid of their main source. And I just gotta get the ammo out. After some heals. You guys need to move this way, though. Yep, there's some horizons. Okay, you had ammo. That being the case, let's go ahead and move this. We'll make my way to the base and then figure out what to do with that. Right, we got another one. And the spot's clear, so why don't I grab you and make a new location right there. Looking fine. Let's go ahead and change this again. Got some megas. That's fine, as long as you don't annoy any one of us. Alright, so we're gonna... Ooh! Don't get me. Alright, go this way. Hurry. Okay, that'll distract it while it heals. I didn't realize there was some damage. Yeah, I'll be in range soon. Trying to move you guys one at a time, so that way I have better control. There we go. That worked out wonderfully. Alright, just to double check. So, we got a rand weight here to separate multiple processors, though we'll probably only be using one anyways. But if I have another unit, this would be still nice. First, it checks a controller. The idea is the first run is going to be empty. The second time, it should refresh to allow this to work. If the controller is this processor, then it'll do the function. If not, we go to the binding phase. Binds to a quasar, checks if it's being currently controlled and who the controller is. If it is not being controlled, then we can continue. If it is being controlled, then it'll hit the end and refresh again, hopefully to bind into another quasar. Once it finds one that is not currently being controlled, it'll continue. It'll check for the X and Y location of the reconstructor, and then it'll enable boost so it could fly, move it to that location, and then constantly try to hit the payload enter function. And it'll recheck to see if it's currently controlling the unit it was bound to. And then a wait function to make sure it functions properly. And if it still has control of the unit, just keeps repeating the payload until it is free. Once it has no unit, then it should go back to the top and try to rebind. That's the gist of this. But we took out an eradication difficulty sector, which worked out pretty well with just Velas. And this one was probably one of the easier eradication difficulties. So, I will see you guys in another video. Later.